Yeah, but my question is now who is left
Yeah.
for Hall? Like, the Islanders had a very strong need there. Now they now they
Bo-
don't, and most teams don't.
That
Boston?
just sounds unfortunate for Buffalo, actually. If
Boston,
anything.
I was about to say, yeah, great point, Jimbo. I think Boston is going to, because besides their top line of Marchand, Pasternak and Bergeron, who produces on that team?
Yeah, their depth is pretty bad on that team.
Yeah, but is depth worth $8 million per year for
Oh,
a
no,
guy?
They
They
retain
could
half.
retain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Sabres would have to do half.
We just talked about how cheap the owners are, so we'll see
Uh,
if they make the right
But
call on
it's
this
for
one.
the 1 year though, right?
You say that we retained on Stahl, right? So we've
Yeah,
already
well,
retained on
Stahl
one
isn't $4 million.
They've already paid
Retained.
most of his salary at this point.
Then they might as well.
Yeah, it's
then they might
just
as
a
well.
paper move.
Yeah.
I do think Boston would be a team willing to give enough. I forget the name of the guy. He was an old Rangers player, literally on the back end of his career, and they threw a stupid amount at him to get him in the trade deadline a couple years ago, if you guys remember. They gave like a first, a prospect.
Rick Nash.
Rick Nash, yeah.
Rick Nash.
Rick Nash.
So the Boston
I had
Bruins
the
are a
Rangers
team,
gear. I had to.
yeah, they're the type of guys to just go full for it. So I could see a trade like a first round pick and like John Beecher for Taylor Hall. I think that'd be a very realistic trade.
I can see it. When I watched Taylor Hall in Arizona for the short amount of time he was there, he is more physical than I think people imagine him. They just imagine him as this all-out goal scorer. But when I watched him play in Arizona, he was not afraid to throw the body, and that's something Boston. That's basically Boston in general. To sum Boston up quickly, it's being physical and tough. So that could be another fit. If they get him with a good player and get him scoring like he used to, and he's physical for them in the playoffs, that's a huge win for Boston. Dang, Boston is just always good. Like, no matter what happens to Boston, they just remain good. At least in my lifetime.
As much as I hate to say it, I do think Taylor Hall is going to go to Boston, and I think this is the perfect scenario for him. Because, that came out when Hall got drafted, that a former Edmonton captain was like, Hall and Eberle, they party all the time. They don't have leadership. But, ever since then, everywhere Hall has gone, he has been the guy, expected to be the leader when he's never gotten the chance to actually learn how to do that. And even, coming to Buffalo this year, they're like, yeah, Eichel's the captain, but you're a veteran now. We expect you to lead. So he's going to go to a team that's either, they got that great locker room presence. In Boston, you can say 15 guys worth of see there, right? They all work hard. They all buy in. So just to have that leadership pressure lifted from Hall,
Yeah, he's not going to be the one guy.
Mm-hmm. What?
Yeah.
Let's just say he does get traded to Boston. Let's not get into any of the details. Let's just say he goes to Boston. What line would you put him on? I'm looking at the lines right now. Right now, as of last game, Boston had Brad Marchand, Patrice Bergeron, then Craig Smith on the first line, and then Pasternak on the second line. I'm guessing just to try to help out depth scoring, with Krejci and Ritchie. So Ritchie is obviously the player you'd move down on that line. Pasternak you might even move up again at some point. Probably will. But who do you put him with to really make that second line gel? Because if you put him with Pasternak, right, would be the second line right now, it's two very similar players. If you move Pasternak up, he doesn't have a lot of support. So I'm interested to hear what you guys think they can do line-wise. I know Charlie Coyle's been really good in the past, but he just hasn't been playing well this year. Same with DeBrusque. And I'll hand it off to you guys.
I don't know. Taylor Hall and Pasternak sounds really sexy to me.
It's a sexy idea.
That sounds so
It's a sexy
good.
idea. But I just think it'd be two players who are both just shoot first mentality on the same line. I think you'd want to keep them a bit
Hall
spread
can
out.
be a playmaker, though.
I
he
just
knows
don't
how to play that game.
I don't think he's as good as it, though. I think he's better when he's the guy on the line.
And the issue is when you look at Boston, on their right side, it's all goal scorers, right? Pasternak, goal scorer. Craig Smith is a goal scorer. DeBrusque can be that goal scorer. And then when you get past that, it's just depth guys. So he's going to have to be the playmaker in Boston to drive the lines.
I mean, that power play would be scary, though. He fits perfectly on the power play. On left wing, too. On left wing, too. He fits perfectly. I just don't...
I hate Boston. I would love it.
It would
So
be nice,
good.
wouldn't it? It'd be an evil nice. But, yeah, I don't know where you'd put him on that team. I love the idea. I just think they would have to make another move as well, just to help out, because he'll help a bit with depth, but if you have to move Pasternak back up, or they're just two similar players, who are you moving back down, right? So,
Does Colorado circle back on Hall?
is it even worth it? Is it
The
even?
final, because I remember before Hall signed with Buffalo, the
It
final
was Avalanche.
there was 4 teams that were in on him. It was the Avalanche, the Canadiens, the Bruins, and the Sabres that no one knew. But the Avalanche came really close. They offered him 1 year at $6.5 million.
Oh, we all knew, because he said he wanted to go to a winning franchise, so we all just assumed Buffalo right away. I mean, that was the first thing that went to all of our minds.